Right then, everyone, good evening and welcome to a bit of a pre-race interlude here. 5 minutes before we're due to get underway for the AEC Tier S round in Monaco. And we're joined by some very special guests this evening. And an AEC first, we're going to do a pre-race interview with your Drivers' Championship leader, starting with Liam Bowman. 3 wins on the board, is it for you? Sensational start to the first half of the season.
Let's go! That's it.
Well, this is clearly something that is pleasing you quite a lot. So, what has been the key to your success?
Holding LT, holding RT, left stick, left and right, and not crashing. I pit lane entries.
It's always good. It's always good. But NVR, top of the league, as we know. Obviously, do you think you can go all the way as a team?
Yes.
Very good, very good. We also have our second special guest here tonight. Podium in Austria last week. Sensational drive from TF10 Lucas. How are you doing?
Hi guys. I'm doing alright.
Guy.
You're doing well. You're doing well. You're certainly doing well on the driving front as well.
Lucas thinks are shy. Lucas thinks are shy. Oh, Lucas thinks are shy.
It's back to the intro!
Oh, Lucas thinks are.
Well, hello everyone, good evening, and sorry that we're running just a little bit late tonight, but it is round 7 of the Artemis Esports Championship, and like I said just a few moments ago, the very first time that we are coming to the streets of Monte Carlo for a once in a lifetime is a bit strong, but once in a while Monaco midnight race. You'd usually see this sort of thing in an open lobby. Not tonight. We are coming to do it for real. Alongside me tonight, I know we were both away last week, I'm sure you didn't miss us, but to cause some more carnage in the commentary box, it is myself, Joseph, and alongside me, man like RG. How are you doing, mate?
Very interesting intro there. I quite liked it too. It's a very, very unique. Yeah, welcome along everyone to another race in the Artemis Esports Championship. Not the most interesting of races around Monaco. I have to say, I've not seen many ones with a lot of overtakes, but pretty much with Monaco, it's just a case of just qualify is usually where you finish. So if you're on pole, massive chance for that win. So teams like NVR, like BRT need to make sure they qualify well, because overtaking is practically impossible at this track. Turn 1 that's at the ball is again practically impossible. Overtake at the hairpin as well, possibly down the inside there, but yeah, no place to overtake, and really you just got to try and keep it clean all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly a race of attrition tonight. Let's start by taking a look at the all-important team standings. It actually doesn't fit the whole screen, so we've got a bit of background going on there, but that's not a problem. You can see that we're still in the lobby, but Novus Racing, their massive lead, might I add, was eaten into ever so slightly in Austria. It is NVR top of the league, as Liam Bowman rightly says in the Twitch chat. Bunga Racing Team, an outstanding result, taking their second win of the season. And guess who is racing tonight for them? It is, of course, BRT Gabor and Furious, the two drivers that have won races for them this season. No better duo then to take on Monte Carlo.
Yeah, definitely not. Looking very strong already this week. As Bunga Racing Team, another podium last night in the WR Legacy division with BRT Joe Murphy. Not here tonight though, but Furious P4 behind him. He's looking on some very strong form. The likes of Gabor is also winning in Australia. He'll be coming into this with high hopes. He knows to get a good quality lap in, who confirmed himself, and as you said, eat into that gap that MVR have built up with that Liam Bowman 3 in a row to start off with. Obviously, they are 63 points clear currently of Bunga Racing Team, and then just behind them, obviously, they currently shut down Paradox Sim Racing, but Future Racing Team last week. Big jump for them, 33-point haul, F40 half, leading the way for them with 105 points, and drawing exactly the same points as them. Top tier motorsport, their new man Placky, proven to be one of their good signings. Shazoo down in 6th place as well. FGE and just behind them, they're 40 points behind, but can it not let them die out just yet? A good race tonight would really give them, a really good chance of coming back. TF10 back into it. Obviously, didn't turn up the first 4 rounds. The team kind of had a little bit of a pause with their Xbox side, but they never count them out as well. They've got a strong roster coming tonight with Today, and I believe, I don't know who actually the second driver is, but Today in tonight for them. That'll be another strong one. Hopefully, they can pick up some good points and keep their title hopes alive to a certain extent.
Absolutely. Again, apologies about the delay. It is Mr. Cameron Emerson that we're waiting on at the moment. Yeah, I don't know where he is, and 2D is currently the lone TF10 driver. So we've seen the foundations trying to be put in there again at TF10. Didn't quite work the previous time they looked to return to Xbox. Hopefully this time it is a little bit more of a smoother process for them. They're 8th in the championship. Again, huge points haul. Helped, of course, by that Lucas podium last week as well. With regards to top tier motorsport, you mentioned those. Placky in again tonight, his 7th appearance of the season in all 7 races he has raced in. And if we have a look at the drivers' standings for you, he has not finished lower than P8, so he is carrying an unbelievable amount of consistency here, Ross. And Monaco, it could all go pear-shaped.
Yeah, no, very easy to make mistakes at this track, and as I said before, it's also very easy to to block someone on a qualifying lap. So I do feel bad tonight if that is the case for her, but I'm pretty sure everyone can keep it clean enough in terms. But sector 3 could be an absolute car park for some of the drivers. Coming through that swimming pool chicane, it could be cars all over the place trying to start off their lap, get a good enough gap in the track, still allow themselves to be competitive. But yeah, it's just so tight, so small, walls so close to you. You've got to be on edge every single time. You've got to keep it so clean all the way through. And if you don't, well, you're going to end up in a wall.
Yeah, absolutely. We're told that Cam is awake, so he has just been a bit of a no-show for ET at the moment. Of course, full commitment back to those guys following the half PR closure. We know it still exists. We know there are really strong rumours about a quite significant rebrand going on at the team at the moment. I'm not surprised it is taken a while, considering the impact it could have on tournament racing. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the gameplay, because it is a midnight affair here in Monaco. Short qualifying, 18 minutes, 18 drivers. You mentioned the likelihood of blocking out there on the circuit. It is going to get pretty chaotic, especially in the single file sections.
Yeah, definitely. Every single part of the track is so very tight. As I said, Sector 3 will be one of the prime positions where drivers will be very likely to be blocked. So you see how tight it is with the swimming pool chicane corner, the mass gas as well. The last two corners being as slow as like 30 miles an hour. So it really could be a hard one for the drivers to hook together and get a clean lap in. Never mind just trying to avoid everyone else on the track. Guardians off putting enough, but with the wall beside you, as I said, on edge every single time you do a lap at this track. It is just going to be a massive challenge for them. I really do wish them all the best, and hopefully we can make it as clean as possible.
Yeah, agreed with that entirely. Already some cars out there, just considering the strategy already. I mean, we're only a minute into the session. It feels far too early to be talking about that, but what do you do around here? Of course, the drivers might well be making lots and lots of pit stops, whether that be for damage for safety cars or for whatever reason, undercuts and trying to steer clear of the traffic. Harder selection maybe in the pre-race?
Yeah, so definitely a massive possibility for the driver. You see how busy the track is already, but a harder allocation, as you said, with this track to be a bit of a mix-up today. Of everyone, different parts of the track, possible undercuts, overcut attempts. People might be trying a bit more aggressive on the start, which could lead to incidents. It's just a massive gamble for pretty much everyone in this race. Just got about get the lap together, put it on the board wherever you start. They know themselves. So they just keep in that same position. It's going to be good points for each of their teams. But just Venom is on his way for his first pop on lap. Joseph, I'll let you guide us through a little lap around the Monaco circuit.
Let's do it then, rounding the final corner at Anthony Nogues for Sem F1 as he kickstarts SLRT's qualifying session up towards turn 1, then Sandoval, little incline up towards turn 1, third gear attacking that inside curve, grazing the wall on the exit, now climbing up through Beau Rivage, a 12% gradient here, a really steep section of track, then through Massenet, quick right into Casino Square, the casino on the right hand side, avoiding the bump, then down in towards Mirabeau, slightly wide of that inside apex, and now very quickly you are at the Grand Hotel hairpin, down to 27 miles per hour there for the slowest corner of the season. Next up, Portier, where of course Jensen Button flipped Pascal Wehrlein, still has to serve a grid penalty for that. I'm not sure he ever will, obviously. Now very suddenly out of the tunnel and into the Nouvelle chicane, attacking that sausage curb on the inside of turn 10, then turn 11. This is turn 12 to back, slightly missing the apex there. Maybe has got a little bit more time on the table. Over the curbs for the swimming pool section, full commitment through the second part. And now onto La Rascasse, that wall there on the inside, quite enticing. We often see a few drivers clip that, especially when trying to make moves. Charles Leclerc, a prime example. Venom has gone to the line with a 109.5. And Sem F1 6/10 slower than on a 1:10.1, and Furious just like that. I mean, I think we picked the worst lap out of the three to ride on board with there. Furious though, quickest so far. Oh dear, we've got a casualty. Ross Greenhorn is dead, and the stream has been cancelled. Thanks for watching, guys. No, I'm joking. Obviously, back to qualifying. Next up, TF10 Tudi, the Romanian driver, the lone TF10 driver tonight, up towards the start-finish line then, and it's a 109.5, just pipping Venom there to P3 at the moment. I mean, this will be a learning curve for a lot of drivers. obviously practice at Monaco. You need a lot of it, so those that are maybe underprepared, a few late call-ups in some of the teams. I know that AERT have been fiddling around with their roster a little bit as late entrants. Skeno, slowest lap time on the board so far. I don't want to say it's proving my point slightly, but Joseph Hales has done a pretty good job there and is up into P7. NVR Chelsea, who had a provisional podium in the WR Legacy Division following a pit infringement, is back in tonight for NVR alongside Red Caterpillar. His first appearance in AEC, no assists, I think, since the mini-series Spain race, where it was an absolutely heartbreaking end, wasn't it, chat? I mean, I was gutted on the commentary that day because it was good to see him flying high inside the top 6. He's flying high so far inside the top 4. It's Furious from Placky on the provisional front row at the moment. Then it's a 6/10th gap to TF10 Tooney. It's been a really, really good start for those two guys. Harvey out of the session. I think that was due to a crash, I'm hearing. Didn't quite see it on the track. And Zinity, I don't think there's a qualifying ban to be served at all. So, again, I think that might be a separate incident. David invalidated a low 0.9, but he meant Gabor. And through goes Gabor, one of the best moments I've ever commentated with regards to the F1 game. Yeah, a low 0.9 would have put him P2 M-Racer, sort of reducing that gap between the top 2 and everyone else. With a 1:09.1. The only driver on a flying lap out there at the moment, I believe, is Nico. We watched his teammate Sem. Let's see how Nico goes in comparison to him round the Grand Hotel hairpin, formerly Fairmont, formerly Lowe's. It has so many different names. You could otherwise call it Turn 6, but that's a bit boring. I'm also told that Zinity's was a crash as well. They both hit Casino Square. That is quite an expensive place to park your Formula 1 car, and a invalidation there for F1 Nico. We saw it live and in the flesh. And out everyone comes again for their second runs of the session. Is this a flying lap for Simba Rocks 1? It looks like he's certainly attacking it here as he rounds turn number 11. Yeah, he's still deploying that ERS through to back. Small lift there. So much more confidence to what we saw when we were on board with Sem. And I hate to keep coming back to him. And that is a graze off the wall on the outside there of the swimming pool at turn 16. Fortunately damaged 3, rounding Anthony Noakes, named after the organiser of the first ever Monaco Grand Prix in 1929. And Simba Rocks 1 crosses the line and goes 7th at the moment. Still no sign of Ross. It should be heading back on now, so we'll try and get it back in, but we've got a bit of a moment to take a breather in the meantime. Furious has started yet another lap here though, and our provisional pole sitter so far. Bowman, you will be the sub if Ross permanently dies, but I hope that's not the case. Following the interview, rewind to the start of the stream if you do want to hear the monstrosity of an interview that we had. PR Furious though. I've lost game sound. No, it's back. What a strange glitch. There's just no sound when a car gets to the hairpin. That's a new one for me. Through the tunnel, the only active tunnel on the Formula 1 calendar, if you exclude the Abu Dhabi pit exit, of course. Now, through the Nouvelle chicane again, just seeing how much inside curb the drivers are willing to take. I think we'll see a lot of warnings picked up there when it comes to the 38 lap long Monaco Grand Prix. It's our longest in terms of laps of the season. Furious backed out long ago. Will he be going again here? Yes, he will, because the tyre deg is quite nice around here. With it being such a slow speed circuit, with it being such a short circuit, you are able to carry a lot more fuel on board as well, relative to a Spa-Francorchamps, for instance. If you watched Wild last night, I hope you did. It was good to see most of you there. You will know all about the differences in fuel from track to track, but PR Furious has got to navigate some traffic now, and he's up on his first sector by 700ths of a second. Let's see how he takes the Grand Hotel hairpin. No rear locking that we might otherwise see drivers drifting through there. Just not worth the risk, really. Is he going to pick up a small toe here? I don't think this is deliberate from the Mercedes car there. That'll be the sole TF10 driver of 2D. The other car there getting out of the way. Oh, and that was almost going into the wall. He had to be a little bit hesitant there. Joseph Hales up to P3 with a 9.0. Outstanding start for AERT. PR Furious, though, still half a tenth up. And again, grazing the Armco on the right-hand side. We've seen a lot of flirting with those barriers tonight. And we're only, 10 minutes into the session. Furious, then, can he better his 108.8 on the streets? Yes, he can. He's down to a 108.7. 1.5 tenths up. And that has put some margin between himself and TTM Plackey. Still trying to figure out what has actually happened to Ross. I don't know if this is a full internet death, because he's not online, and I've had no response from him anywhere. So hopefully he'll be back in due course. But if not, line yourself up to be in the commentary box, guys, because I can't do 38 laps on my own. We're going to have safety car intervals, that's for sure. But Valera Fox, if you watch his week in review series where he talks about the same shit as in the other week, no, I'm joking, good videos, he says there'll be no safety cars, and that is actually really likely, because I think there is a glitch around here where you don't actually get sort of correct safety car deployment. It's just virtual or nothing, really. So that will be a factor. Shazoo Venom, the lap times do come in thick and fast, so if I do miss them, I apologise, but Venom is up into P3, but TTM Plackey is a driver we should be watching. So once again, into turn number 1 at Saint-Devote. No heroics. The famous Jeff Engineer line from many a F1 game until, of course, F1 22, was it, where they got rid of him for Mark? That does feel like a while ago now, actually, based on how many races have been and gone in that time. Rounding the Grand Hotel hairpin, and then down to, I think, is Lower Mirabeau. You sort of had Upper Mirabeau at turn 5, and then Lower Mirabeau at turn 7. But besides the corner debate, TTM Plackey is well on a charge here, and will soon see his middle sector split. Tabak coming up, full lift off the throttle, and then fully on the power again. He's 2 tenths up here, so this will take him certainly within a tenth. Oh, that was pure commitment through the swimming pool section. And pure traction as well through the final 2 corners at Anthony Noakes. Up to the line comes TTM Plackey, and quickest by 0.03 of a second. There is our new provisional pole sitter. With 5 minutes left on the clock, he will have time for one final run, but the Dutchman has the upper hand. Oh dear! Well, that's not good. He was on an in-lap. I know what he's doing here. I mean, that's unbelievable shithousery if he's just left to get back into the pit lane without crashing. It is a shithousery awards, but if it is a genuine disconnect, then I apologise for spreading false information. But that is one way of doing it, isn't it? Anyway, who have we got on laps? Nico abandoned his. Simba Rocks 1 hasn't, and so we'll come up to the line and improve ever so slightly. He's up into P10 now. Sem back into the pit lane as well, so we begin the cycle once again. He just disconnected, says Tez. Okay, that is completely fair enough in that case, but around Monaco, I have seen people do that before, so it wasn't too far-fetched of a shout. Scano will be our first man around to start, presumably, a final lap in this session. That he does have time to abort and go again. I think, if needed, his teammate 4th. He's looking to join him, potentially high up there for AERT. Oh, that's a drift through turn 1, and that is lap done already. ERS light flashing on already, which means he has turned the hot lap mode off, and will go into a state of cooldown, because that mistake was very, very costly indeed at the first corner. So easily done. Too much inside curb around here, or just a bit too greedy on the turn-in. Can lock your rear axle. Haloginak 16 thousandths up as of the first sector. Now into a state of silence around the Grand Hotel hairpin. Once again through the second part of Mirabeau, and then on to Portier now as well. He's got 2 cars in front of him. Surely will make way for him through the tunnels, and Aston Martin in front of him needs to be instructed. They both have, and they've both got out of the way and off the racing line there as well. Haloginak gets a clear run then into the Nouvelle Chicane, but we've seen how prior distractions can make all the difference to a driver. See Max Verstappen in free practice 3 in 2018 at this part of the track. Oh, the swimming pool section. Loads of inside curb there. Floor bottoming out. We wouldn't see the cars do this in real life, but the beauty of the F1 game is that you really can chuck these things around. It doesn't look like quite as slow motion as it does nowadays, and Haloginak crosses the line and goes a very impressive third for FGE, beating Venom by 3 thousandths of a second, beating Joseph Hales by 8 thousandths. And whilst all that was going on, PR Furious of BRT has just done something extraordinary. 108.3 is the new benchmark. Next up, M Racer Purple in the first sector. It says didn't quite catch his first sector split. Chelsea is said to be struggling in comparison to his personal best, but that's an improvement. That is a significant improvement in sector 1, almost a quarter of a second up. This is what his teammate Rev Caterpillar is doing, and has found just over a tenth there as well. TTM Placky has started his final flying lap. We'll catch up with him a little bit later on. Sasha Andre to complete his out lap and start his final lap of the session. AERT Scano will go again here. We saw his mistake at turn 1. Let's hope he doesn't replicate that this time. Then comes McLaren. Then comes a Williams, I do believe. That will be M Racer, and that will be him round in the final corner, looking to better his third row start at the moment, and does so onto row 2, and that is a genuine disconnect there for Placky. If there was any doubting over the first one, that certainly is not what he wanted on a flying lap. And there's the improvement Chelsea so desired. And up to P2. And there's a grid penalty for Rev Caterpillar. But he's back into the pit lane. There's been a collision as F1 is around just after Rastkas. So I'm not sure if there's been a collision there with Rev Caterpillar. He's still on an outlap, is Sem. And if he's free of damage, then he can go again here. Rev Caterpillar back in the pit lane. Won't be able to improve on that P10. So it will be up to him really to see where he starts and what he wants to do with that grid penalty. I don't think starting at the back would be too much of an issue actually around here at Monaco. You can escape the chaos, work with the strategy a bit differently and go from there. FRT Dan, this isn't a valid lap, 36.5. He has completed that one. We were looking at TTM Placky. Attention turning to Gabor, who's 9 seconds down in the first sector. M Racer obviously on an in lap. So attention turns back to Haloginak, was third earlier on. Can he reinstate that? He improves by half a tenth, but it isn't enough, but still a solid qualifying for FGE. Shazoo Venom invalid. His qualifying session is done. Joseph Hell's still out there at the moment, as is Sasha Andre following the first sector. Simba rocks one back into the pit lane. 2D, that looks like an error at Rastkas. Sem is invalid. Nico's 300ths up. Dan is still pushing there as well. Gabor into the pit lane. So really, we're just focusing on some of our lower drivers at the moment, including FRT Dan, through to back, through the swimming pool. One of the most beautiful shots, beautiful camera angles in Formula 1. On to Rastkas then in just a moment. A few modifications down the years. Used to really go a lot more left there before it turned into a hairpin, but certainly a nicer flow about it now, and flow is hard to come by at Monaco. Dan has got it sort of hooked up though and goes up into P11. Rev Caterpillar will start 15th at the moment, make that 16th as Nico crucially beats him by 1,000th of a second. And that is your lot for qualifying? Now, I'm on my own here. I have to make decisions. So, here we go. Into the Discord to try and work out what is going on. But I don't know where Ross is, honestly. He might have abandoned to do some engineering, but we'll see. Can I snake him? I can't snake him. He's not engineering. Told Rev is blocked. Just been invited to play some Forza, and I'm quite clearly in an F123 session at Monaco with quite clearly the streaming logo on my profile. So cheers, thank you. Cam is wanted, but I don't look at Discord when drivers are on flying laps, so I've got to get him in now. I mean, this could be a restart, to be honest. Hello everybody and welcome back to AEC TRS. Sorry about that intermission. We have got 3 separate issues ongoing at the moment, so I think the fairest thing as the only active admin tonight. It is a bit of a piss take, I know. I'm sorry for... I'm sort of a bit hung out to dry at the moment, but we are going to go for a restart. We are going to get that Rev Caterpillar grid penalty revoked. Placky couldn't get back in, and I'm still missing Ross, so we're drafting somebody in. Because do I fancy sitting here for 38 laps on my own at Monaco? Not really. I'm going to need some companionship, but the game's the game. In the meantime, I'm going to take a very quick toilet break, because I need a piss, basically. Just another quick update. It was a whole street Wi-Fi issue for Ross. He says he'll be back in 5 minutes. Whether we want to give it that long, I don't know. Wouldn't be opposed. Anyway, the grid still needs... oh, pardon me, that was very rude. I won't do that again. Etiquette and all that. Finest British King's Majesty maniac. Moron. Midget. Oh, Rossi's back on! We could be saved here. We could be saved. I think we need some drum rolls in the chat. Let's see. NRX Rain redeems request a fact. Did you know that the Monaco Grand Prix takes 6 weeks to erect? I know something else that takes 6 weeks to erect, but you guys figured that one out. Ross, you alive? You're back. Oh dear. Did everybody run outside and bang their pots and pans for the NHS or whatever we used to do? Oh, I can't believe we used to do that. God. Sorry, Bowman. Next time. Yeah, Bowman was begging to be a replacement. We've had a restart, Ross, as you can tell. It was a 5-place... Oh, you've not included your audio, have you? Turn it off and on again. If not, I'll... Can he... Sorry, I can't hear, so...
It's not actually included in the night, is it? It's this thing. It's in now, it's in now, it's in.
Okay.
I don't know what it's no, sorry.
Basically, Ross was explaining massive Wi-Fi failure, 60 houses, NHS pots and pans, whatever. What was I going to say? Yeah, it was a 5-place grid penalty for Rev, contact with Sem, Placky couldn't get back in, and I was wondering where you were, so I thought, as the only admin actually alive, I thought, I've got 3 different issues to deal with here, it's a restart, respectfully, of course. But yeah, we've gone along with it, and it's worked out nicely.
Yeah, I'm getting some very abusive messages from VR Bowman in my current Discord DMs. I've had fuck off, Fatty.
We don't
ruin
encourage abuse. We don't encourage abuse.
I'm having a very bad time with my DMs from for a young angry skillsman. I'm not sure why. Not sure what's going on.
Who's your profile picture, by the way?
That's Damian Lillard, so that's a great basketball player.
Mm.
You won't understand that. You're more into your football nowadays, aren't you?
Oh, I love my football.
Sorry, is that new profile picture? Oh wait, I know, that was like an absolute fantastic footballer. That is a great player.
What a baller. There'll be a selfie with him on my Twitter next Wednesday, so make sure to follow him. Shameless plug. Anyway, clutching at straws here, lads. We've got 19 in, so I'm sure the wonderful Harvey Ecology Malian is doing his work setting up the grids. What else can I really say? Let's go to the calendar, Ross. I've not done the calendar tonight. It's not like me to not run through the calendar. We're at the halfway point. We're at round 7 in Monaco. We have a bit more of a European leg after this, going to Monza and Portugal for the second break, and then Belgium, Japan, Miami, Saudi Arabia and Abu Dhabi to finish off the season. It really feels like if NVR can get a result tonight, and I know qualifying wasn't ideal, certainly from Rev's standpoint, that they'll be in a fantastic position to try and get it over the line with the likes of Bowman in the car.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, we know the qualities that he possesses. The lone balls XF1 in that team, MVR Ogween, back with them. Just so many good drivers. MVR Stonks in that mix was up. PSR Nick, how can I forget PSR Nick as well? They are very stacked roster at the moment. So the AEC title for them would be one of they're really pushing for. Also, the Lancashire division is also something that they're trying to keep themselves involved in. But yeah, as you said, their quality in their roster is so good that I think that they probably should be able to get it over the line. But it's a bit early to tell. 7 rounds in, another 7 to go. You said Monza next week, everything could flip on its head after Monza.
Absolutely. I'm going to put something on the screen.
Oh, careful.
Will we get demonetized or whatever for this? It won't be on long, but this is what we're dealing with here, ladies and gentlemen. I won't repeat it, but this is terrible. This is disgusting abuse, and it has to stop. We are fighting hate crimes here at AEC.
All in good spirits, don't worry guys. He's not actually like that. It's all in good spirits. Just in case anyone.
Honestly,
I
I love Lightstream because I can just get anything and expose people. Is fantastic. Get that in the video. Please get that in the video. That would be brilliant. Fake news? It's not fake. It is not fake. It's a real screenshot. Right, let's hide that now. Can I hide that?
You should be
Yes. Well, I'm going to delete it.
Yeah,
I'm going to delete it. It's off the system. JT is going to be looking through this, tapping away, putting his new graphics in, and wondering what the fuck that was. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get to the grid. We will ready up at 45. I think that gives drivers a couple of minutes to do setups and strategy time. But in the meantime, we'll cut back away to the intro and you'll join us on the grid. Well, hello everybody. It's always an anticlimax when we don't have that boom, 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 boom bit, but we are in Monaco for the first time ever in AEC Tier S. I said earlier, Ross, a race of attrition. It's hard to look past this race in any other way.
Yeah, no, it really could be one. First time ever in AEC, so I'm not sure what to expect. I've not had a commentary on this track for the last few years, but I am excited. I am excited to see what we've got ahead of us. I've seen PR Furious on pole, MBR Chelsea, NP2, the two championship rivals, having a very strong qualifying. Rare Capital, though, down in 11th place. Very unusual to see an MBR driver down there, so he's got a bit of work to do. But Gabor Furious, so big opportunity to steal some good points off of MBR.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a quick look at the team's championship once again before we get started this evening. I could scroll down a little bit and show you Outplayed Racing, who never got going on Xbox. AERT, brilliant haul actually, 14 points back in Austria. That eclipsed anything they ever scored in the mini-series, and of course their lack of last season. Parnell Racing discontinuing. Eurotitans Esports, 2 non-point scoring finishes. So they will look to get back on the board tonight. Summit League Racing Team on a run of 4 consecutive point-scoring finishes for their team. TF10 Esports really got off the mark and looked mixed in amongst the pack, but with only 2D tonight, that'll be difficult. FGE Team Shizou in 7th and 6th. Then we look at top-tier Motorsports and Future Racing Team level on 105 points in what is essentially a battle for third at the moment, because they will soon, very quickly, pass the discontinued as well. Paradox Sim Racing, and then it's the battle at the front of the field between Novus Racing and Bunker Racing Team that is going to be the one catching our eyes. It is now 8:45 in the UK, 9:45 in Central Europe, which is where I feel a little bit sorry for the drivers when we have to do a restart. But it is time to go racing on the streets of Monte Carlo for the first time ever in AEC Tier S. All 5 lights run ahead of the drivers, and they're out. And we're underway, and it's a very short dash to the first corner, but Furious leads the way very crucially, maintaining that track position into the first corner. What's going on in behind? 2 abreast in there. Can I see any front wings flying? It doesn't look like it so far. And on the 12% gradient rise up towards Beau Rivage, and then Massenet around the outside there. It is Joseph Hales, and into the Casino, he seals it, but then loses it on the exit of the corner, tries to dive back up the inside of Shizou Venom, and they'll still be going wheel to wheel into the Grand Hotel hairpin, where Shizou Venom stays on the inside. Once again, Joseph Hales the long way round, and that is Rev Caterpillar, I think, that has been showed the wall there, and he might well have some damage on his front right end plate, but he seems to have gotten away with it. All drivers through.
Yeah, overall pretty clean start. Andrew go down the inside there on Shizou Venom, having a really tough start there. Almost a full stop there as we went into the chicane. Really close, some contact, but nevertheless it was a pretty clean opening lap. As you said, no front lines flying off. Rev Capital luckily got away with no damage to his car. I think he just dropped the position to FRT down, up in 11th place, chasing down F1 and Nico 22 ahead of him for SLRT. But at the front, no PR Furious 1.5 seconds clear already of MVR Chelsea. TTM Blackie a little bit behind Chelsea as well. But after that, you've got a nice little train down to the 7th place of Joseph Hales for AERT, picking up some really good points so far if we can keep them together. But 37 more laps to go. It really is a long one.
Yeah, we've got the tyres now up on the screen. 4 drivers have opted for hards, looking to go long in this one, but I think everybody's sort of read into each other and gone for the mediums. This means an earlier pit stop. How early, though, is the question. We could see some very, very early jumps into the pit lane, get that clean air, and then take track position and just park your car, because despite the tyre advantage being so significant on this game, it's Monaco. Park your car, you can't get past.
Yeah, it's just a case of just defending hard enough, make sure you don't lose enough time to the guys in front. And if you keep with this train, you know, it really can be a case of how you want to do it. Pit stops, you're going to try to go for the undercut, you're going to try overcut, you know, you're going to just pit with them or just follow them for the good points. However it happened, you know, some of these teams need to go for the win. The likes of Chelsea knows that Rev Catalan down right now, P12, not a lot of good points there, but P2 for we can possibly get a bit closer to Furious. He could welcome himself into a right good winning position, but Placky behind will also be changing. He used a lot of battery though off the start, around 55% on that Alpine car currently in P3 with his teammate all the way down in P16. Zenate not having a good time there.
Yeah, Furious, what a start he's had. 2 seconds already. His advantage on NVR Chelsea as Furious looks to become the first driver to win 2 races in a row since Liam Bowman did it in rounds 1 and 2 this season. Only a select few have been able to do that in the Artemis Esports Championship. He's looking to add his name to that list. His teammate in behind in 4th, Placky. Hopefully now in a new lobby he is not going to disconnect for the 3rd time this evening, and that would be a real shame to see Placky lose so much time actually around here in Monaco. So again, let's hope that doesn't happen. What have we got in the live chat? Odds on a safety car in a few laps. Well, again, we've got that glitch sort of, don't we? So we don't actually know if there's any possibility of a safety car. We've had a request to Brett from somebody. Brett isn't here. He's not really been too much into the AEC F1 stuff recently. And by the way, this is going to be a crash because TTM Zinity and Seb F1 have locked horns coming through the swimming pool section. And out the inside goes Skeno and off into the wall there goes Seb F1. Again, I think he's gotten away without damage. Bit of ghosting there for Skeno, who does manage to get through. But there is already a little bit of carnage at the final corner with Harvey looking to make a move up the inside. Oh, it got tight in there. Not a lot that Sem could have done with regards to opening up the space, because if you go on them marbles, you might well go into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see how difficult it is to overtake around this track. F1 went so deep into the corner, but still was able to hold the position on F43 Harvey. I think I really had a good inside line, but you just need to be careful to not cut that curve as well, because as an instant warning to your name. You see F1's having a really tough time down here in P17. I believe he may have some damage from that contact with Skino just a little bit ago for the sun push again. He said they locked horns really close to some contact to the wall, but F1 struggling in a P17 versus RT. His teammate Nico, though, decent enough in P11, no one else making any manoeuvres, but I tell you what, just PR Furious. What a pull away he's had, 3 seconds in 4 laps. It's looking easy. Runaway win for him so far.
Yeah, this is an outstanding performance so far. It's only lap 5, but it's important he keeps his eyes on the road and not on that lap time, because he is doing an excellent job so far. And the last thing he wants to do is stick it into the barrier. Zach wants a refund. Now, we could do a real-life request of Brett and request a fact in the future, possibly. In the new year, when the top 2 in the Skybet Championship go head-to-head. So stay tuned for that one. No guarantees, of course, but we've got a bit of a battle going on here between BRT Gabor and M-Racer. Gabor, that gap just opening up slightly to Placky in front of him, though staying at about 1 second. M-Racer got close into the Grand Hotel hairpin, but the massive concertina effect that goes on through there could catch drivers out towards the back end of this race. It's lap 5 of 39 on the only circuit in Formula 1 that does not abide to the minimum distance rule. It's a very short circuit coming in at just over 2 miles. That's why we run a lot of laps around here, though technically speaking at a longer lap time than Austria. So it is going to feel like a mini endurance here tonight.
Yeah, no, it's one of the ones that you look at just like, please, don't make me do this one. But, yeah, unfortunately, 19 drivers abandoned in this situation. But I tell you what, we're getting through it pretty nicely so far. Same F1, though, not having a good time. He's actually hit the wall and he's ghosted a car. He's got no right rear end plate, and that is into the pit lane for him. He's actually almost into the wall. It's a 5-second speed in pit lane as well, and that is our first retirement of the Monaco Grand Prix MF1. Yeah, it wasn't his race to be. 3 laps in, he already looked like he was struggling. Well, 3 laps later, sorry, it is a retirement, and SLRT are the first retirement of the AEC Monaco race.
Absolutely. A shame to see him out so soon, but yeah, he's probably jumping onto another game. Take your pick what game, although he might be assisting in the engineering front with Nico if they don't already have one. People complaining about ads again. It's not me running the ads. Why would I, considering I get none of the money? Why should I get any of the money? But who's getting all the ad revenue? Good question. I think it used to be Creamy, former AEM, that had the bank link to it, but I honestly could not tell you who gets the very small amount that we get. Although, if you want ad-free, I hate to be that guy, but Twitch Prime is your friend if you have Amazon Prime. That is just going to be the simple way, because I think even if I turn it off, it will still try and force you some adverts. We can talk about adverts happily, because nobody is really overtaking. We've just sort of got that period in the race where there's a fucking massive pile up at the first corner. Safety car! Noah! Suck on it! You're wrong!
Well, that was that was elation for Joseph F1. Yes, safety car, TT Infinity in the wall at Santa Vot. So that is a safety car for us. Everyone at the back, welcome back into the race. Peter Fury is about a 5-second gap. Sorry, my friend, that's chopped away.
Poor guy.
Chelsea has now entered back into his DRS. But I tell you what, if Fury keeps up that same pace, that's going to be an incredible one. He's going to be an absolute runaway winner if he is not overtaken soon. Chelsea going to be thinking about getting that gap shortened down. Placky as well, he has had a big gap to Chelsea, so he'd be happy to get that safety car. Everyone else we're just kind of sitting behind each other, weren't they? But yeah, it's in a day in the wall. His team up in P3, he is out of the race. I wonder though, is there going to be a big change in the strategy for everyone?
Yeah, possibly. This could be a very early dart onto the hard tyres, and I can see the Alfa Romeo pit crew. Chelsea, you blithering idiots! Oh, Placky, you blithering idiot! What is going on? Drive-through penalties, and that's the last thing you want at the Monaco Grand Prix. Can you believe what this race has just turned into at the end of lap 7? Furious gets in and out unscathed and rejoins in P3, but there's penalties for Chelsea and for Placky. Staying out also, Shizou Venom and Rev Caterpillar. Is going to be a race to the pit exit, and Rev Caterpillar has actually really well done there, slowed down before the exit of the pit lane, so Chelsea is entitled to that position, so they don't have to do the swapping at the pit exit as well. Loads more pitters, and they'll be looking to go to the end.
Yeah, no, exactly. Those hard tyres should be able to go a very, very good distance right about now. So I would suggest that they're going to be trying to run them out as far as possible, especially the fact that the wear really won't be that bad when our track's so short. You know, so many laps was so short, so the wear won't be as high as you think. But you know, big opportunity for the likes of Venom and M Racer for Team Shizou, staying out on the hard tyre. I mean, M Racer on the medium compound tyre, should I say? M Racer staying out in the mediums. I'm not sure what the decision is on that one, but Venom, Furious, and Halogenac will all be in a very good position so far. Halogenac on the hard tyre, Venom also on the hard tyre. Everyone else behind him is on, I think, about a hard or a medium tyre. Just pull up the thing quickly for myself. I can see, yeah, I can see everyone behind on the hard tyre. A couple of them on 7-lap orders, Symbol Rocks, Rev Caterpillar, and also Venom and Halogenac as well. Everyone else on fresh tyres and M Racer at the front. The only man on the field on medium tyres.
Yeah, we've got a major problem going on here because that is a glitch that Chelsea and Placky have just had. The Delta glitches like back into the red or something going into the pit lane. It shouldn't do. That's the pit lane. You're allowed to drive at whatever speed you want. No, well, not in the pit lane, but the pit entrance, I should say, because it's not part of the racetrack. But there's no rule for it. I can't turn around and say, as the only admin tonight, restart, call the race off. I mean, if it keeps occurring, then honestly, there could be a scenario where this race is null and void. That's if it keeps happening to people as the safety cars and whatever build up. But I don't know what to do about this situation.
Yeah, I agree with you. If it's not really your fault if there's no restart. You know, if this was a possible glitch, we really should have thought about that when doing this track. But yeah, no, as Limbo saying, the track restart, turn SCs off. You know, you just can't do that, can you? That just kills the whole aspect of someone crashing and then the possibility of getting your race back in. So it's you know, it's controversial saying there's no restart, but I totally agree with you, Joseph. I don't think it's fair for you to make this call, and especially not your fault either.
No, it's not my fault. It's not Chelsea's fault. It's not Placky's fault. It's the game's fault. Nobody else to blame other than the game. Well, I mean, potentially in hindsight, you could say, why wasn't this checked beforehand? I wasn't personally aware of that. I've not heard any of the other admins in the team mention it either. I don't think there was any input from drivers, so it's just one of those things where there was a potential risk, and we've gone with it. Blair Fox says, not a glitch I've been aware of. Yeah, that includes team leaders as well. So it's a difficult call to make because we're now 10 laps into the race, and honestly, I still don't know what to do here because I wouldn't want to do a 50% again. I don't know about you.
Well, I've done for the first time ever. I've done maths correct. So 35% of 39 is 13. So technically, you could just do a 35% race, but obviously there is the whole kind of restarting and doing the lobby again, and everyone complaining with no SCs on. So yeah, it's a tough, very, very tough situation for the old admin teams. Are they active, Joseph? Are they talking about it or?
It's only me active.
Oh.
This is the thing, because JT is not active on a Wednesday. Tom's watching Corrie. The safety car's in this lap. It would be 35% no safety car. I think that's... But is there a... Can you check if there's a red flag? Oh, I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? Rulebook. This is just a nightmare. Null and void the last 5 races. Right, we're going to go racing here for the time being. I'm going to let them continue because the drivers aren't really to know this stage what the situation is all about. Placky. Oh, Placky, you can't... It's a safety car lap, Placky. Oh, for God's sake. Well, that's a conscious choice. He's still got to serve that. I'm sorry, but you cannot serve a drive-through penalty on a yellow flag lap. I thought everybody knew that, but seemingly Placky didn't, so... just, yeah.
So, Joseph had read the rulebook, rule 4.8.3 for anyone to check themselves. Game glitches. If a number of minor game glitches and or a major game glitch occurs in either of the sessions, the staff can decide to stop the session. The glitches have to cause a real hindrance in the progress of the session and or cause unsafe situations in side-by-side racing, cars stuck on a starting grid and desync on a large scale are examples. So...
Let's carry on.
Decisions made.
I'm sorry, we've not got all night.
Decision is made.
We've not got all night. It's a tough call to make, but I'm gonna get stick, but here we go.
Don't worry, don't worry. I wouldn't.
Here we go.
Wouldn't dwell on it.
They're both in, so. On we go. Furious is still on the tail of Halo. And he's not able to have cleared the 2 drivers that have stayed out here. But here's an opportunity. Coming through the tunnel section. Here he goes, here he goes. He's burning his ERS, and that was very close. And we had front wing cam there. Down the inside he goes. Goodness gracious me. Halo is forced straight off the track. He's kept the position off track, so gets an illegal overtake. And therefore, Furious has to take the position. Bump and run, question mark.
That was, yeah, I would put a big question mark on that one as well. Halo obviously was ahead. Furious on the inside, he wasn't ahead at the apex, so we just, technically you really should give that back if you are Furious, but yeah, a 50 report, so we'll leave that down to the shirt. We'll just comment on what is in front of us. So good move by Furious, what a manoeuvre down the inside, that's a great manoeuvre from Furious. Venom still in there, P4, Rift Cap with her entering himself back into a decent position here. He's on old tyres, mind you, but he won't be in that bad of a window with that safety car coming nice and early. But BRT Gabor behind 5 lap hards, Rift Cap with a 12 lap old hards. There'll be a major difference in grip and in terms of the speed for driver. Rift Cap will have really big problems there. Going towards the hotel hairpin, so he'll come through it now. Gabor still on the back of Rift Caterpillar, but yeah, Furious get through a halogen with a nice move.
Absolutely, and we've just seen FRT 10, he was really fighting away there with Simba Rocks 1. They almost had quite a severe incident going into Massenet there. So, here he goes again, FRT down. We've seen one questionable attempt down the inside at the Nouvelle Chicane. That's going to be a squeeze, and that's going to be another Haas having to come across the circuit. They're almost driving into each other on the exit of the corner. He's got to go up the inside into Tabak, has to back out, got to be conscious of his teammate behind him, and through into the swimming pool they go, back into single file. Unbelievable defender going on here by Simba Rocks 1, who's already lost 5 seconds to the pack in front of him. FRT Dan just cannot work his way through. There was a tap up the rear into Anthony Nogues, causing yet another bit of contact there. Here we go then, around the outside into the first corner. He's going to be shown the wall. FRT Dan tried to go around the outside, looked like he got ahead, might now have some front wing damage, and up the hill comes Nico side by side with Harvey, almost showing the latter the wall, coming through Massenet. Back into single file for Casino, and down the hill on the run in towards Mirabeau. Will anybody go for the move? They all look like they wanted to, and there is NVR Chelsea looking to make his way back through the fields. I don't blame him for that, genuinely. I don't blame him for the frustration he's going to be having in that car at the moment for just driving straight through TF10 2D. There we go, they've finally resolved it.
Yeah, getting through, using the ghost into his advantage, you could say, but you know, picking up that very, very unlucky drive-through penalty, which was obviously no fault of his own. He also just was thrown into the pit lane, and the game says, you know what, he went far too fast there. We're giving him that penalty, but P13 cut for Chelsea. Cam 5675 for ET getting through as well. So that's a change at the front as well for Furious and M-Racer. Small positions into Santa Vota, and that is Furious now back into the lead. And I tell you what, Joseph, this gap is only going to get bigger once again. The freshest tyres of the 4 cars behind him. After that, BRT Gabor, his teammate, is a close one behind him. So after these 4 pit, we're on for a Bunga Racing Team 1-2.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly looking that way here. Obviously helped by external factors that may or may not be mentioned at the moment, as we're just trying to crack on with this race now. I know it's an inconvenience, but again, I'm looking at the race director notes, I'm looking at the rules, and it's... yeah, I mean, if I go and say restart, then, you know, the masses will use that as an argument, and like I said, as the one in charge, it's difficult to make a solo decision, so I've just gone with what I think is best for tonight's race. I don't want frustrations at Monaco. That's the last thing we need as a tournament at the moment, so let's like I said, go ahead with this one. Lap 16 of 39. We're almost halfway through this race, still got a long way to go in this one, and here comes Gabor around the outside of Rev Caterpillar, and he has a drift coming through turn 1 as well. He was late on the brakes, took that risk, and he's still got Rev Caterpillar to try and contend with here. And here comes Joseph Hales as well. It's an outstanding race, almost ended there with contact with the inside wall at Massenet. Can he try and sneak up the inside at Mirabeau? He's looking for it, and he was just too far back there. Rev Caterpillar was always going to turn across there. And, yeah, there was no room for him.
Yeah, well, speaking of Harvey, he's ended up in the wall at Raskas. He's gone straight on. I don't know if it was forced wide or whatever, but I just jumped on him and he's reversing out of Raskas. So there must be some sort of contact there. As he's now down in 16th place, 2.5 seconds of AERT Scannell. So that is a forward situation for the future race team. But Dan, on the other hand, though, yes, he is 8.5 seconds behind P8, but P9. It's a very solid result for the team that are still trying to gain some points on the competition behind Team Shazoo, though. Currently in a good position, but yet to pitch. Venom and M-Racer on 15 lap on mediums, Venom on 15 lap old hard tyres. They'll be looking for a pit stop reasonably soon, but at the front though. 3.5 seconds clear he is of M-Racer 9 PR Fury. He's also 4.5 seconds behind M-Racer is Halogina, which is probably about 8 seconds clear he is now of PR Fury. So I'll tell you what, this runaway win is very, very likely, and BRT picking up massive points on MVR here.
Yeah, absolutely, and still on board with Joseph Hales. Let's go back to Chelsea because this is a fight into the first corner, somehow making it through there with 2 cars alongside each other. Fuck me, that was always going to end in tears, wasn't it? As 2D and Cyberox 1 make contact there, coming up through the steepest part of the track at Beau Rivage, and this front wing on the circuit. No in-race interference there, as 2D without a front wing is going to go and let everybody through. I mean, this was a consequence, restart or not, so, you know, this was... there's still opportunity for the drivers, that's all I'll say. They are not out of this, based on some of the racing we're seeing at the moment. But either way, Joseph Hale still behind Rev Caterpillar, in turn behind Shazoo Venom. PR Furious has built up the gap that he had before the safety car intervention. Round in the final corner then at Anthony Noakes for the 18th time, or the 17th time for these guys. Simbarox 1 as a track limits penalty at Monaco. That's come at the Nouvelle chicane.
Yeah, it just seems like one of the points of the race is now where it kind of just elevates itself out. Joseph Hales, as I said, still on the back of Rev Caterpillar. Rev Caterpillar not looking the fastest so far for novice Raging Hills. He's on 17 lap old hard tyre. Joseph Hales on 7 lap fresher hard tyre. Just giving Sasha Andre a massive opportunity for ETE to gain that time back he's lost with Joseph Hales, and just, you know, see if he can get a bit closer once he catches up to Joseph Hales. He can get through on Rev Caterpillar as well. Also, Rev Caterpillar will have to pit reasonably soon though. PR Furious has got a 10-second gap now to Haloginak in P3. So, I tell you what, Joseph, PR Furious, if he keeps on driving like this should be over pretty fast. It
should be, but we've said that once already, and he didn't have it too easy getting through on Halo. And whether there's a penalty coming his way, it won't make too much a difference at the moment, because max 5 seconds, isn't it, for an incident like that? But again, when we get the full angles of that incident, he might not even be deemed guilty for anything, so I'm not going to suggest anything at this stage. Here we go then with Rev Caterpillar. He's burning, he has to, it's his only opportunity to try and get through at turn 1. No, he can't. Joseph Hales trying to do the same thing, but again, there remains single file up through turn 1 then for the 19th time, and here comes Joseph Hales. Actually, he's going for it down the inside of Massenet. He's got to be careful. He didn't commit entirely, which I think was fair enough, being from that far back at the start of what is essentially a straight, but it goes past some apartments and goes uphill and weaves around quite a lot, so not really a straight.
Great explanation. Very detailed explanation. I like that a lot. Joseph Hales, though. Oh, I'll tell you what, Joseph, you didn't see it. After he went for that move on the inside, he clanked the wall on the right-hand side as he turned in to the casino corner. So that was a very close moment for him. I don't know if he's got any damage. He's lost a bit of time on the exit of Portier, so he's got to try and get that back up, which he has, luckily, with the fresh tyre advantage he's still got. But surely, like the M-Racer and Haloginak have got to be thinking about a pit stop reasonably soon. 18 laps on medium tyres, 19 laps to go. You can see the hard tyres can go a pretty long distance. For M-Racer, it's looking like an easy hard tyre pit stop. For Haloginak, he may have to run him out a little bit longer, like the Venom and Rev Caterpillar as well, to go for the medium compound tyre. Rev Caterpillar, once again, burning the battery down the straight here into Santa Void. He's got the inside line early on. He's going for the manoeuvre now. It's at the wall. Turn 1 to go. Venom's right into the wall. Rev Caterpillar through until Joseph Hales. Where the SAP goes, and that's a good move. Around Santa Void, through Beau Rivage. That's a good move. Joseph Hales P6, Rev Caterpillar in P5, but how clean really was it?
Yeah, I mean, around Monaco, there is really, well, it's a lot more subjective what classifies as clean, because if you have an opportunity, if you don't go for a gap that no longer exists, you are no longer a racing driver, or whatever that Senna bloke said once upon a time. Can't remember who he is. I think he won 6 times around here in Monaco, so not that significant of a person to be talking about anyway. TF10 2D, fastest lap of the race. He came in following that damage, the sustained up Beau Rivage, and set the fastest lap of the race. He'll get a point for that if he's in the top 14, which is where the points go down to in the Artemis Esports Championship. Placky is back in the points. There are still opportunities. I will stand by that at this stage. Here he comes then in towards the Nouvelle Chicane. Oh, he got very, very close. Forced Skeno actually into a little bit of a mistake there. Certainly if there wasn't any contact onto Tabak, yeah, no chance of getting through there. I was used to hope that one day that Nouvelle Chicane would get removed. It would just be one long straight down towards Tabak. That would be chaos. That would be very dangerous. That would never get approved. But into the pits comes Skeno to get rid of those 12-lap-old hard tyres. I wonder if he's got any damage. Is there a front wing waiting for him? No, there isn't. He's just getting rid of that compound.
Yeah, I can expect a pit stop from him coming very soon. He was struggling a lot, and he is still struggling a lot anyway. You can see how far back he is to Harvey and Placky. There's always a big contact there with F1 Nico and FRT Dan Chelsea thinking about the manoeuvre as well. So close to a wall hit there for Nico. Dan just clanked right into the back of him, not really thinking about where he was braking, and yeah, Nico lost vision from that. That'll definitely be given back by FRT Dan if he wants to try and avoid a late race penalty. But I tell you what, FRT Dan has got a full battery, Joseph. He's a single smithereen of that ERS, so he's got to think about burning that and trying to use that to his advantage and gather a bit of a gap to the car behind.
The smithereen analogy there with the battery. Absolutely no physics knowledge at all, but no, that's fine, it will do. But yeah, Dan, I mean, ERS is overrated around here in Monaco. Bit of a rear lock-up there from Nico. And there's the opportunistic move from NVR Chelsea in the Argyle-coloured Aston Martin. What a brilliant move at La Rascasse to get past F1 Nico. They were very much synchronised drifting there coming through La Rascasse. I know I'll be held a little bit accountable for the race, the way his race is playing out, but he's certainly treating us with some fine overtakes at the moment. Next up, FRT Dan. Can he get a move done into Mirabeau? No, he can't, and I don't think he's too desperate, considering the next car will be 11 seconds up the road.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, there's a smithereen ERS reference and a Plymouth Argyle reference on the same stream. People are being
Brilliant.
absolutely treated to one tonight, I tell you that much. Chelsea just trying to keep close to that big snap on the exit. Portier there coming through the tunnel. They can't get FRT Dan. As you said, 11.5 second clears. We're getting through. Really isn't much of a worry for them. But as I said, for Dan still is so full on ERS. It becomes like it's possible to get by him for Chelsea. He's going to be able to defend any given moment. But finally, though, M Racer makes his way into the pit lane. Hard compound tyre selected for the guy that started on the medium tyre. Took them, I would put it to them, 22 laps. So fair play. It's a fair old stint on the medium tyres. Now he's got the hard tyres on till the end of the race. 16 laps to go on those hard tyres. A very good opportunity for this man to pick up some good points for Team Suzuki today.
22 laps on the mediums, he'll do 17 on a set of hards. I think that's an interesting little call there from M Racer. Clearly doesn't feel that softs can go long enough, but he's held himself out there for so long that really now that he's got no other option. Of course, you are gambling on safety cars around here. We did have one. Oh my god, I forgot to put the safety car overlay on. The wonderful safety car overlay. We might need one in a moment because FRT Dan and NVR Chelsea, George Russell and Sergio Perez style, have had a coming together at Mirabeau, and FRT Dan will have to come in and repair that front wing. How's Chelsea looking with his front wing? It looks intact, but don't rule out any lime or yellow damage.
Yeah, just really just got to try and keep it clean as possible. Cam, very close to the back of MVR Chelsea as well as they all fly on down through the tunnel now once again. 24 laps done. There's another few to go into the pit lane. Now comes Shizu Venom, M Racer's teammate, as M Racer is also right at the back of Sasha Andre for P6 at the moment. Venom went to the pit lane. I do wonder where he will come out, and this train is going to be into the pit box now. Nico just rounding out the final corner. Placky also just coming out the final corner. He's going to come out of his pit box now, right at the end of the pit lane. Can he keep ahead of TT and Placky for that spot? I don't think he can. He's coming out too late, but can he get ahead of MVR Chelsea? Is the big question. He's going to be on the inside line for the corner. Through he comes. Chelsea's through. Venom got a lot harder job to do. He's on the French medium tyre, so he'll be very, very quick. But a lot of work to do trying to catch Chelsea and also Placky.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a 16-second lead at the moment for PR Furious. Could well be a 1-2 very, very shortly. Furious is in! He's getting rid of the hard tyres. He's taking a cheap pit stop. And I don't blame him one bit, because he has got the gap to get out there on a fresh set of medium tyres and surely, still quite comfortably, win this race. Out of the pit lane he comes. Where will he be in comparison to Halogenak, who is still fighting for dear life out there on a 24-lap set of hard compound tyres? Out of the pit lane comes Furious. He'll rejoin behind his teammate. I'm sure there will be some team orders if Gabor does get clear of Halo, whether that be through a pit stop or an overtake. Rev Caterpillar has come into the pit lane. He'll rejoin in P7 it looks like, but it'll be close on the exit with Nico. He'll be instructed that he's racing him 37 miles an hour, then lifts the pit limiter and coming past at full speed 170 miles an hour is Nico. He's going to be racing Placky on the exit, and with that tighter line, Placky is able to carry more speed on the racetrack and get through into P8. But can he make those tyres last? That is the crucial thing. We've suddenly, though, got a three-way fight for the race lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Halogenak has got to make sure that he gets into that pit box. And I tell you what, puncture territory should not be far away on that Haas car. Gabor 17 lap on his hard tyres. Furious in a brand new, fresh medium set. BRT keeping it as in a big box Halo, but he knows that Halo will be a big hold up for his drivers here, Gabor and Furious, but might see Halo, and he finally does slide himself into the pit lane. Was that a pit lane cut? I'm pretty sure it was, but I'll just ignore that for the moment. I think there was something.
I don't think there's any rules
there are no
on
rules.
entrance.
There's no rules. Okay, that is
I don't think so.
lack of track notes knowledge from me there. TF10 Toodies goes straight on like a Nico Rosberg. Yeah, I believe that is the just after the casino corner. I can't remember what one that is called, but yeah, just after the casino corner, goes straight on Nico Rosberg style. Hamilton complaining in the radio about Toody there, but he carries on, now down in P17 after that pit stop, so he's got to think about maybe again, possibly a retirement coming for him. But I tell you what, Joseph, looking at it now, NVR are going to get massively outscored here, and it's going to have a big job away from their advantage.
Yeah, that is for sure. Rev Caterpillar, however, is trying to limit the damage here. Into P7 he goes, clearing Nico. 2D is retired. That's on track. He's pressed the retire button, so whatever the penalty for that is, he'll be taking that. And as the lone driver for your team, what is the point of doing that? Honestly.
Yeah, that is not the greatest moment. Never got to say that was a bit of a questionable one. I'm gonna I want to scan to see what actually that is. For
it might be in the rule book.
Retire on track. 5-point deduction for Team TF10. Yeah, that's not a nice one. There wasn't really a need for that, was there? There wasn't really a need for that. You could have saved the team 5 points there. Yeah.
Just a bit childish, really. I know I'm just sounding harsh now for the sake of it, but that's their loss, I'm afraid. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, he's joined back. That'll make all the difference. Thanks for joining back, 2D. Yeah, thank you. I mean, you're DNF, so I don't know what your input really is here, but Simple Rocks 1, 3-second time penalty. We do have a few penalties. We saw M Racer cut the corner at turn 1, pick up a 3-second time penalty. He's already cleared 4.7 seconds, so the 15-lap tyre advantage is doing him a very good job there. ESV Bobbitt's in the live chat saying M Racer to catch and pass Gabor, striking distance 3 laps according to AWS.
Oh yeah, very true. NRX Rain, he might have got the glitch where you lag out and it auto retires you.
Yeah,
that is actually okay. That might be a bit more logical. Sorry, TF10, you're keeping your 5 points.
Yeah,
you're keeping.
I forgot about that.
Oh, big battle here for Nico and TT and Placky on the inside line getting through, and Nico has been cleared by the man on 16 lap medium tyres. I'll tell you what, I don't see them going to the end, so he might have to have another little pit stop there, which would cost him big points. So it could just be a case of race until you get a puncture for TT and Placky. You're going to have to do at least 11 laps more, so you're talking 27 laps on the medium compound tyre. How doable is that? It sounds practically impossible, but I really want to see how he gets done with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been asked what the biggest win in AEC TRS history is. I'm trying to look for this season. We've had such close races. The biggest actually came in Hungary, where Liam Bowman beat TTM Plaki by 5.5 seconds. So this should eclipse that comfortably. We've got to go back to last season. We don't have any gaps from last season. Oh no, that's tier 1. Sorry. Oh, that is silly of me. 10. Sorry, I might be missing something at the moment, but I'm scrolling through. I think it's 10 seconds. It came at Abu Dhabi, PSR Wilson over NRX Rusty, 10.235 seconds. So again, I think he'll comfortably get that as well, barring any major mistakes at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if it's only on track, then that's fair enough. 'Cause also, we do have the possibility of Fury getting a 5-second penalty for that for that bump and run with Haloginak. So I tell you what, Joe, he's one of the big winners out. Haloginak staying out that much longer, and look what's happened. He's up in 5th place for FG, and that's a fantastic result for FG and the AERT as well. 4th and 5th for them. Fair play, lads. Fair play. You've an absolute blinder here, but Joseph Hales, 20 on lap old hard tyres. He's going to have to pit again.
Yes, he will, unless he wants to be daring and try and stay out there for another 10 laps. Here he comes, Haloginak. It was a pretty tight squeeze through the tunnel. They emerge, I would say, back out into daylight, but it's not. It's midnight here in Monte Carlo, and Haloginak has just pulled off a quite brilliant move there for P4, and he should be able to build up that gap, you'd think, and hold on to that position. Good going in what has been an unprecedented race. M-Racer, we're being told to watch him. This is why, because he's just, pardon me, excuse me, 3 tenths behind BRT Gabor at the moment. I'm drinking too much Diet Coke. I apologise. M-Racer, here he goes. Oh no, he's not made the move. I wonder why. Because it's Monaco. He can't. Oh, he has a look into the Grand Hotel hairpin, and he might have proved me wrong entirely. He's almost going into anti-stall, coming through the Grand Hotel hairpin. 20 miles per hour. Not speeds that Formula 1 cars are designed for. Maybe back in the vintage times where the cars were light, he would be able to carry a lot more speed around there. But M-Racer still facing the Alfa Romeo rear wing.
Yeah, I mean, that fire advantage he's got is absolutely massive. So coming out of this last corner now, he's got to make sure he gets it really, really close. Look how close he is. That was bummed after him all the way through. They saw him push the gate, and now they come up through turn 50 and Vasquez ahead of them. He's still all the way behind, but look at him eyeing up the overtake. He's getting the wide line red cap and looking at a move done on Sasha Andre. I'm not sure what's happened there, but Gabor now under threat from M-Racer. DRS, ERS open, inside line for BRT Gabor. M-Racer's going to be hot on the brakes, I'm presuming, and at turn 1 they come get M-Racer. Great space given by BRT Gabor. M-Racer, through he goes on the fresher, hard tyres, 23 laps on hard for Gabor. It's too much to defend, but I tell you what, just a great racing to Gabor and M-Racer. Luckily, no walls touches, and you know, it's a fair move.
Fair play to Gabor. That was some really, really smart racecraft there. Opened up the well, not opened up the steering, just sort of tightened his steering lock to allow M-Racer the space. Both cars were always going to be at risk there, but they did such a good job to keep each other safe and secure around a track that wouldn't be allowed onto the F1 calendar if it was to be accepted today. NVR Chelsea does clear his old mate FRT Harvey and up into P12, and then picks up a penalty for cutting the corner at turn 1. But again, that tyre difference should see him build up that gap quite quickly indeed. BRT Gabor, 3-second time penalty. He's level now with Halo, so Halo will look at that and go, yes, we can have a fair and proper fight now until the end of this race. But they don't want to be holding each other up too much because they've still got Rev 9 seconds behind, and I know that seems like a lot, but you start tripping over each other at Monaco, you can cost yourselves 2-3 seconds a lap.
Just the real battle here is going on. PR Furious is about to lap Simbarox 1. P16
Oh no!
Might be getting, like, the blue flags are out. Blue flag. He pulls to the side. Furious has lapped Simbarox 1. It's so unfortunate. I was looking at the gap to leader. I've seen 1 minute 9 seconds, and I thought, well, that must be coming up soon. And there you go. 16 seconds clear. PR Furious is to M-Racer. He's on 7 lap fresh mediums. M-Racer, you know, 2 laps older hards. he's just going to keep getting bigger, isn't it? It's gonna, I genuinely think it's going to get to... Joe, we should do in the chat, I'm thinking about it now. What's the time gap going to be between Furious and then
Time
Racer?
gap.
What is the time
Let's
gap
do
going
it.
to be, chat? I want to see the interactions. I want to see what you all think. I'm going to predict 20 seconds.
I would do a prize, but I've got nothing to give away, really. I'm quite poor at the moment. Cost of living. Red Caterpillar closing in on Joseph House, which should be a fascinating battle again, considering the tyre differential. The permanent sparks on the inside at turn 11 of the Nouvelle Chicane. Always a brilliant display of Formula 1 physics. NRX Range says them hards might blow up. Who's hards? Gabor, Joseph Hales, Nico, Cam, Harvey, take your pick. All of them are going to be very much at risk. TTM Placky as well. Done a good job actually to claw back into P9. Hopefully for his sake, those tyres do not explode. I shouldn't be laughing, this is my fault, but whatever. FRT Harvey and FRT Dan, not positions they would have wanted to be scrapping over right now. They've had some very unfortunate incidents, but that is just one of the consequences of being in the Monaco midfield. Here we go then with Rev Caterpillar. Joseph Hales is defending. Rev Caterpillar looking to go around the outside. Realised the space wasn't going to open up for him. Then he goes around the outside to the Grand Hotel hairpin. Going to have to turn it into a switchback. But again, he almost got it done. It would have been spectacular. He's trying everything in his power to get through. Next opportunity, the Nouvelle Chicane, using the ERS once again, as is Joseph Hales. He does not want to give up track position if he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to, because he can defend, as he is doing now, to keep Rev Caterpillar at bay.
Yeah, no, really good balancing those two there. Joseph Hales, that move, the hairpin is almost on for a butt. It's a Rev Caterpillar move almost on for him, but Joseph Hales, you said, just defending really well. A clank of the wall though, as he comes into Ravage, that'll be putting him off a little bit. As he comes on through the corner, through the last two corners, he's got to just make sure he keeps it clean for now. Shazoo Venom! Crucially, 3-second time penalty. He will not lose out though with Placky in behind him. If he gets past Sasha Andre, he's now got to pick up at least a 3-second gap to the Ferrari car. You can see so many teams we usually don't see getting these good points, scoring these points. Red Caterpillar though, all the way around the outside. Joseph Hales not able to defend. The tyre difference is just so much better. You can see there 9 lap meters for Rev flying around the outside, and Joseph Hales will also be stepped in P6.
Absolutely, and I was actually looking at Shazoo Venom there because he's in a very similar situation with Sasha Andre. He launched it down the inside at the first corner. No idea how he got that stopped. And there's a battle for P3 with Haloginak and Gabor going side by side. Halo has caught up. Gabor has another penalty because they've just gone wheel to wheel. And they continue their battle now. Haloginak is going to feel confident into Larascas. Oh my god, he's gone for it. That is unbelievable opportunism. If he can hold it into Anthony Noakes, he leaves Gabor the space. There's contact, but on the traction, Haloginak gets through, and he's up into third place, looking to secure FGE's first Tier S podium, I do believe. Happy to be corrected if I'm wrong on that front, but we've got a very good opportunity now. Start pulling that gap, Halo, because you're going to need it following some of these post-race infringements, possibly.
Yeah, from Monaco standards, it was really, really good into the last corner. Haloginak and Gabor having a nice little battle there. But I tell you what, I believe that'll be finished off because Haloginak, the 9-lap fresh mediums, 27-lap hard tyres for Gabor. I think Gabor's worries for me now, making sure he makes the end of the race. If Kiwi's there, Kiwi, I'd love to know what a percent of tyres he's actually on, so that we can just see if he can really make the end. 4 more laps to go. Furious, well ahead. Just starting off lap 36 for him, the M Racer, flying on through these chicane, 17.8 seconds pulled by the BRT man. Yellow flag at the first corner. It looks like a FRT Harvey into the wall, and I am correct. FRT Harvey has put it in the wall again. ART Sierra might be eyeing up a nice little move here for P14, and I see goes to Joseph Hales, about a 3-second, but that might not matter because Venom also was on behind him and he's not really catched him enough to really threaten that 3-second gap.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's still, I wouldn't rule it out. An opportunity to catch that because we've been seeing 2-3 seconds lap. I should really get the lap data on. That was a 1:13.1. I'm going to have a look at Gabor's previous lap as well. 13.1 compared to a 14.2. So a second a lap won't be enough. I don't think. Skeno has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's another to his name. Let's take a quick look at the penalties, actually. 6 there for Gabor. Rev needs to find 3.3 seconds in 3.5 laps. I said it might not be doable, but it actually could well be. Because I did forget that Gabor had that 6-second time penalty rather than the 3-second. BRT says it can be appealed, but of course that will go to the stewards' room. It looked like they were side by side, so if there was a genuine argument to say that he had nowhere to go, wouldn't see why it wouldn't be taken off.
Yeah, no, as you said, those are very tight parts of the track where they're trying to overtake. So if you're going to go down the inside, you've got to make sure that you're fully alongside when you come in. You can't be doing these half-hearted moves because it really just does end up with the driver going straight on, picking up a penalty that wasn't deserved, and just means more work for the stewards. But MVR Chelsea, though, is closing up massively to F1 and Nico ahead. Obviously, the SLRT teammate crashing out. Mr. Retiring early on, about lap 6, I think it was. He's had a pretty decent race for SLR, picking up a couple of points or two for them, making it competitive possible for the team. Had a very short stint in TF10 and then going right back into the SLR guys. He's he's proven his worth to the team once again. P10, but under threat massively from NVR Chelsea. With the 3-second time penalty for Chelsea, it's going to be a big ask for him to try and gain that time on Nico after he's made the move.
Absolutely, another penalty there for FRT Harvey. That again is certainly not his first. Chelsea burning, the Aston Martin looking to try and close in by the end of Beau Rivage, but again, he's just trying to put some pressure here on F1 Nico, and he's got to into the tightest part of the circuit. First up, Mirabeau, bit of a rear lock there. Nico almost at a standstill. There's not a lot he can do on those massively aging hard compound of tyre. Surely he'll have a go into the Nouvelle chicane. By the way, PR Furious is not far off starting the final lap of this race. NVR Chelsea, though, this is the battle we're watching, and he's gaining with a slipstream. The very limited slipstream effect you get in the tunnel because you actually lose some downforce in real life. Here we go, into the Nouvelle chicane, and again, Chelsea has to stay put behind the McLaren, who is defending really well. You have to say, BRT Furious is coming up to lap another car in this race, I do believe. It's an AlphaTauri. It looks like FRT Harvey, so yeah, he'll only complete 38 laps rather than 39. Rev's gap to BRT Gabor, 6.9 seconds. And with the 30 laps completed on the hard compound, Rev should surely get this within 6 seconds. It would be a provisional P4, could still change following post-race appeals and any other penalties that may be handed out. I wouldn't really attribute anybody any penalties at this stage, possibly for the stuff we saw earlier on, but it's hard to really tell who was at fault for some of those. Here we go. Inside goes Furious on FRT Dan. It wasn't Harvey, it was Dan, so he's lapped more cars, in fact. Chelsea is now ahead of Nico, so that is just about going to do it for this Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah, Dan really trying to not get lapped by Furious. It seems they're inside each other, going through the tunnel, but you really always got to talk about PR Furious. What a dominant drive it's been for him. He had his gap chopped off in the end with the safety car, and obviously there was a bit of controversy in terms of the game having a massive glitch, which is no fault of our own, but yeah, in the end, Furious has been absolutely dominant. 18.5 second gap. It's just been one of those drives for him, hasn't it?
It has indeed, and he will get past FRT Dan, who wants the extra lap to try and close to those in front of him. Furious won't mind though. He will complete the 39 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix, taking the biggest ever win margin in the Artemis Esports Championship. Goes back to back in the tournament, and that is a drive to savour.
Yeah, that is really one to remember. Racer though, the strategy call from Team Zazoo, making him stay out, and well, P2 has paid off. And hello, G-Nac, for FGE, coming home in P3 for an FGE podium. As I watch at the start of the season, I didn't finish 10th. They are massively outdoing my prediction. I tell you what, fair enough. P3 for them today, a massive result. Gabor home in 4th place. Rev Capital jumps Gabor in the end after a flying last lap. It seems like Gabor might have had a mistake in the end, but Rev Capital home in 4th for MVR, salvaging a little bit of points for the team today. Joseph Hales for AERT, a great result for him in 6th place. Venom as well in 7th. Sash Andrew round in the final corners now to take 8th place, Blackie home in 9th, and then MVR Chelsea home in 10th place as well. Dan away home soon, and F1 Nico, one of the last to finish off this race.
Yeah, and Dan obviously wanted that final lap because he overtook Nico, and he's going to get Chelsea on penalties as well. That's why he was so desperate to stay ahead. So can't really blame him for that. You know, a bit of a loophole there in the game that you are able to just ghost and stay in front. But Dan does retrieve 10th after a difficult race. I'm ready to take some stick. I'm happy to take some stick, some criticism, but it's one of those races where you've got to trade off the restart, the later risks that can come with that. If everybody piles up at the first corner, everyone would be going restart, restart again. It would just be an endless cycle. And with what I had tonight, yeah, it was a difficult call. I respect that, and I will apologise to both drivers individually because they do deserve one. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. It was an absolute pleasure having you here for the first ever Monaco Grand Prix in the Artemis Esports Championship. We've got Tier 1 coming tomorrow to do the exact same thing again. Whether that will be as chaotic, whether they'll go with a safety car, I'm sure there's lessons to be learned from tonight. There's no doubt about it. Do give it a watch if you want. But PR Furious, fastest lap, 30... well, it's 30 points for the win, isn't it? It's one for pole, and then another for the fastest lap. So he scored all 32 points available tonight. Huge, huge gains for Bunga Racing Team in their race with MVR. And what we're going to have is an unbelievable second half of the season.
Yeah, no, this really could be fantastic on for us. And I'll tell you what, everyone, thank you for tuning in today, because, you know, it wasn't one of the races where there was a lot overtaken. You had to listen to us ramble a lot. So I appreciate everyone staying until the end and listening to us ramble for the whole race. So yeah, massive congratulations to BRT, closing that gap to MVR and really making it a title battle for the ages. We could be getting another one like last season where it goes right to the end, and I really hope it does, because it is one of those seasons that gets ever more exciting race by race. And Monza next time out, hope to see you all there.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you all very much, guys. We'll just go to the standings very quickly to confirm, not the standings, the calendar. The calendar. The calendar. It's coming, I promise. There it is. Monza next week. Portugal, we have another break. We'll go to Belgium, Japan, Miami, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi halfway through the season. Way more to go. And until next time, guys, take care. Have a very good rest of your evening. And good night.